So you want to buy a new home in Phoenix, Arizona, but you don't know where to start. Well, here are the 5 things you need to know about buying a new build in Arizona. Hi, I'm Caitlin McKegg. I'm a real estate broker here in Phoenix, Arizona. If you're thinking about buying new construction, you may not know that you can actually work with a realtor through that process. But be warned, if you want to use a realtor in this process, you have to bring them with you to your first visit to that builder. A realtor can help you in this process in many ways, from helping to uncover incentives from the builder, negotiate the contract, help you pick out the design, and make sure the builder is staying on time with their timelines. When you work directly with the builder, you're essentially allowing the seller to write the contract for you. Having your own representation through this process is a really smart thing to do, and in case you didn't know, it doesn't cost you any extra to do so. The second thing you need to know about new construction is that your earnest money might be a higher amount than what you're used to paying in resale. For a resale home, you get to decide what earnest money amount you want to put forward, and oftentimes it's 1% of the purchase price. Builders typically ask for $5,000 to $10,000 regardless of the purchase price. Another thing you'll want to understand about earnest money is how you can get that back, if you can get it back at all. So number 3, you don't have to wait a year for a home to be built. There's something called a spec home. If you're avoiding the new build process because you don't want to wait a long time for a house to be built, know that there's something called a spec home or an inventory home. And what this is a home that the builder has already started constructing and will be ready in a sooner time frame than if you were to start from scratch. One thing to note with a spec home is that you don't get the option to customize these homes. They've already selected all of the finishes that'll be going into the home, and there's really no option for you to change things. Before you get under contract, however, you get to see all of the finishes that were pre-selected for that home to make sure that it falls in line with what you're looking for. Number 4, did you know that you can bring in your own inspector? The builder will do their own inspection, and of course the city will inspect the property as well, but you can bring in a third-party inspector, and I really recommend it. A third-party inspector has your best interest in mind and is making sure that nothing's been overlooked. They can even do a pre-drywall inspection, so they can look at everything that has been built behind the walls before the drywall goes up. As the house is nearing completion, they'll come back to do a final inspection. You might be surprised at some of the things inspectors catch. I've seen homes that haven't had any insulation in the attic, and we wouldn't have known unless a third-party inspector was checking that out. For the most part, builders are really good at checking everything before closing, but having that third party is a really good idea just to make sure that there hasn't been anything that's missed. The 5th thing you need to know about buying a new build in Phoenix is that you're not going to know that closing date until about 15 to 30 days beforehand. This can be a little stressful. They'll give you a general time frame on when your house can be completed, but they're relying on various vendors and suppliers in order to get the house completed, and so they can never give a firm date until they get past a certain point. At the end, this process can feel a little rushed, and you usually get very little notice for your final walkthrough. So just know this and plan accordingly, and be prepared to be flexible. So there you go. Those are the 5 things you need to know about buying new construction in Phoenix. If you're looking for more information about new construction in Phoenix, check the description below. I have a link where you can request more information about a particular city. You can also reach out to us anytime or set up a discovery call to get more information about this process as a whole. Thanks for watching this video. I hope it was helpful. I'm Caitlin McKegg with the Desert Dreamers team.